everyone, and welcome to Conversations with Innerfit. Today we have the pleasure to have Chris Pinner with us, who is the founder of Innerfit. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Marina.
We're going to be talking a little bit about our brand new session, which is the Guide to Physical and Mental Well-Being to Life After Lockdown. So tell us, Chris, why was this session created?
The session was created because we believe if you feel well, you work well, and probably not many people watching this would disagree with that. And feeling well and working well has basically just been a massive challenge for us working remotely and in life after lockdown. I think that's common across a lot of people in different situations. So I suppose some of the challenges we've seen coming up is around a lack of clarity. Like, we don't really know if there's an endpoint to all of this. So conversation I literally had today with a company talking about being remote first. We need to adjust to this, and this session really aims to help people do that, to inject a bit of structure, to start defining for themselves what well-being really is. And physical and mental are obviously definitions that come up a lot. It's one way of looking at it. Perhaps for you it's more around spiritual or social or financial, but whatever that is, I think that this session is really designed to help people be clear, like crystal clear on their own well-being and how they're going to boost it, improve it, and manage it so that they can feel well and work well.
Perfect. And what are some benefits for the attendees of this session?
So it really works off of the reason why we've designed the session, which is to start adding that structure. So the benefits will specifically depend on how each individual defines well-being for themselves. If, for example, it's mental, there's going to be sections on resilience and nutrition and movement and how that can boost mood. So talking about the relationship between physical activity and depression and anxiety, but also cognitive performance, managing your state when it comes to breathing techniques and relations with others. And if we're thinking more on the mental side, for instance, like really digging into that, we're just going to share some high level stuff so you can start to define the key factors that drive your own mental well-being. So it's kind of a round robin approach to spark ideas, act as a bit of inspiration for what each individual can do, ultimately leading to like specific actions to take. We're big believers in the fact that the idea that you start change by doing one small thing and then building on it.
Perfect. And, can you give us a little advice? What can we do today to boost our energy levels around the mental and physical well-being?
Good question, Marina. I'd take 60 seconds to just reflect on how you're feeling. Everyone's different, like everyone's definition of well-being and the situation they're in right now is going to be different. If you're a manager, you might be responsible for motivating and energizing a team when perhaps you don't really feel particularly motivated and energized yourself. If you're reporting into someone or whatever that working situation is, like, it's going to depend on you. So my one idea that comes to mind right now to take positive action would be to just stop, like take 60 seconds, pen and pad, and express how you're feeling right now. And I'd imagine whatever idea comes into your own head about what you can improve to boost your mental and physical well-being, probably the one to go with, to be honest. Sometimes we've got the answers in ourselves, we just need to express them. So that would be my final thought on actions to take.
Thank you. And I was just wondering, there's so many HR leaders right now wondering if their companies are going through challenges alone. What is some feedback you're getting from HR leaders around their challenges and what they're going through?
Well, I think the first point to focus on is that it is a big challenge right now. But I suppose the reason you've asked that question is because we know it's come up in conversations, but it's worth taking a moment to think about the position managers are in. Like, if you're responsible for motivating other people, but you're feeling pressure from the top, and then you're feeling the responsibility from beneath to look after people, in a remote working situation, it's really hard to empathize and understand the true emotions of someone on the other end. It's so easy to cover up mental well-being, let alone if you're working remotely. So I think it's firstly just understanding the problem, like understanding the challenge that managers face is quite unique. But in the same way, it's also shared. There's a lot of managers that are experiencing tough times at the moment and that responsibility. So talking is one way that we've found, not just with us obviously, but with peers and like-minded people who are experiencing the similar stuff. And again, just going easy on yourself, the same way we always say, start with one positive action and try and make it quite small.
Be kind.
Exactly, yeah, be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Put your own oxygen mask on first. That's always the analogy we come back to. It's like, before taking care of others, you've got to take care of yourself. And if you're an HR manager in particular, the tendency would always be to want to help. It's just the nature of like people sometimes, like you want to help another person, and it's easy to forget yourself. So put yourself first, put your own oxygen mask on, and be kind to yourself.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. Very insightful.
Marina. Pleasure talking to you as always.